So in this video, we just want to compare the video output of the Action 1. I'm still trying to find the Action 3. Okay, so the Action 3, all of them are in my pocket right now, which is why it's difficult to show it you in this video. And of course, lastly is the Osmo Action 4. So these are the action camera series of the DJI. Just want to see the video output of each of these devices, and we'll try to compare the quality produced by each of these devices. Currently, I'm still using the Action 4. This is my daily driver for most of my content, and I still like using this. But does the Action 3 and Action 1 a bit far behind in terms of video quality with the Action 4? Because I think it's already time for the Action 5, and if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be launched together with the DJI Neo, but we're still, I think DJI postponed it and they focused more on the DJI Neo. DJI Neo, the video quality as I saw it is similar really with the Action 1. So we'll just do this short comparison video, show you each of these devices, how they perform, and yeah, that's it. Let's go, let's do this test. Okay, so these are the Action series. First thing that we notice is the Action 1 has a bigger lens compared with the Action 4. Meanwhile, the smallest lens would be the Action 3. Okay, so what else did we notice? Yeah, the Action 4 has a bigger sensor inside. If you could see it, I think I'm against the light. There, it has a bigger sensor compared with the Action 1. Action 1 is the smallest. I mean, in terms of size, similar, smaller. Okay, turn on. Okay. Alright. Let me just change the view of the Action 1. Among these three, only the Action 1 doesn't have a touch screen, so on the front. So with the Action 1, you cannot touch this. At the same time, you are unable to see your view unless you press the quick switch button here. So that's the only time you could see your video. Let's continue with the test. Alright, so the first thing that we notice is the Action 3 has the warmer color tone based on auto white balance compared to the Action 4 and the Osmo Action 1. In terms of exposure, all of this are in auto exposure. So the brightest is the Action 3. And the Action 1 would have a darker color or a darker exposure. Alright, what else did we notice? Yeah, there's a bit of delay in the video of the Osmo Action 1. Video quality, surprisingly, of the Osmo Action 1 is good. Although it is too narrow. So on the Osmo Action, on the Action 4 and Action 3, I could see my whole shirt. But with the Osmo Action 1, I can only see the top part of my shirt. So it's really narrow. So like this. But as you can see on the Osmo Action 3 and Osmo Action 4, you could still see up to that part of this. So that is how wide the Osmo Action 3 and Osmo Action 4 is. But of course, it comes with its own problems. As some may say, the Osmo Action 3 is still blurry. So I'm quite very near the camera. So this is just 6 inches away from the camera. Still, the Osmo Action 1 is not blurry. The Action 4 is not blurry. But of course, the Action 3 is a bit blurry. So in terms of using this in FPV drone, the very wide sensor of the Action 3 is really useful, which is why some do prefer the DJI O3 Air unit, because it is the same sensor and lens as the Osmo Action 3. Okay, The Avata 2 would be the same as the Osmo Action 4. And of course, the Action 1 would be somewhat similar with the DJI Neo. Alright, so that is a very short one. Let's try to see the stabilization of Rocksteady. All of these are with Rocksteady, so just to have a good comparison later on. Alright, so let's do this test. But while doing so, I'll show you what I'm telling just a while ago with the Action 1, wherein there is a bit of delay when I am using 1080p 60 frames per second. So there's a bit of delay on the screen. I'm not sure if it's because of the screen refresh rate. Probably this has a lower refresh rate compared with the other. Okay, so this is the Osmo Action 1. Stabilization turned on, rock steady, and as you can see, it's arm's length, but it's a bit narrow. But if you will try to compare it with a 24mm camera, this is quite near on that aspect, if you would consider it. So most of the mirrorless camera that it has a stock lens, it stays usually at this FOV. So this is the Osmo Action 1. One thing that I notice when I'm using this is that it's quite warm, especially now that we are in direct sunlight. It's really warm, and I'm a bit the delay in the screen is noticeable when you are doing a vlog, especially if you're looking at the screen. But the quality is really good. I'm a bit surprised how good it is still after a lot of I think how many years already? 4 years or 5 years already. Still, it is a good quality video. Okay, so this is the Osmo Action 3, and we are using it in ultra wide. As you can see, it's really wide. You can see a lot of things here, and the exposure is quite high. I'm not sure, probably because it's really high. It's quite, I'm not sure if I'm overexposed. I haven't seen the video yet, but it's really bright. I will not try to edit the videos unless we'll talk about D-Log. So for this one, it's in RAW. You see it as it is, how I video it. Next, I'll try to put it in standard D-Warp so that you could have a comparison with the Osmo Action 1. Osmo Action 3 standard D-Warp, so still it's wider compared with the Rocksteady of no, the standard of the Osmo Action 1. Still wider. Screen is okay, there's no delay. So yeah, this is the Osmo Action 3. Let's go with the Osmo Action 4. Okay, so this is the Osmo Action 4. This is my daily driver as at the moment. And one thing is, it's not as warm. The auto white balance is not as warm as the Osmo Action 3. I'm not sure if DJI made some tweaking with the auto white balance. So this is still in ultra wide. Of course, we already did a video comparing the Osmo Action 3 and Osmo Action 4. So with this one, we just want to see it. So this is how it looks like. So just to make a good comparison, we'll try to do this in standard D-Warp. Okay, so we are doing this in standard D-Warp. Not bad. So if you try to really compare this with my other camera with a very small size such as this one, you could really vlog with it. See? Compare it with someone that's such as big as this one. It's very heavy, right? So this one just the Action 4, and you already have a very stabilized video as long as there's very bright day. Alright, so let's go. Let's do the D-Log test. Of course, Let's do it. I'll try to go with the mirrorless camera. Okay, so in terms of software, there are a lot of things already changed from the Action 1 to the Osmo Action 4, and one of this is D-Log. The Osmo Action 1 doesn't have D-Log, so there's no flat color profile for the Osmo Action 1. But for the Osmo Action 3 and the Osmo Action 4, it has D-Log M, if I'm not mistaken. Also, with the Osmo Action 4, there is a 10-bit color profile, so if you do a lot of color grading, 10-bit will give you more freedom when it comes to editing or grading your videos. So this is the D-Log M for the Action 4 and D-Cinelike for the Action 3. The Action 3 has a higher exposure compared to the Action 4. So D-Log M and D-Cinelike. Unfortunately, the Action 1 doesn't have this technology. So if you do love to do your color grades, the Action 1 is not for you. So D-Log M and D-Cinelike, I think they have the D-Log M is flatter compared with the D-Cinelike. Okay, so this is the video. Just we could compare this later on. So in terms of software, there is a big gap already with the Osmo Action 1 and the Osmo Action 4. But in terms of the video quality produced by all of these devices, I think you could still use the Osmo Action 1 even though the Osmo Action 5 will be launched probably this month or probably next month. So just basing on the video quality, still there is no big gap between the three. But if you really prefer a bigger, the better electronic image stabilization, and you will be using a lot of the perks that came with the Osmo Action 4, such as its compatibility with the DJI Mic 2, the flat color profile, and other things that DJI tried to put inside of the Osmo Action 4, you might really prefer the Action 4 compared to the Action 1. But in terms of price right now, since it's already discontinued, I believe it's already discontinued by DJI. If you try to buy it in the second-hand market, the price is really low right now, so probably could get one if you do prefer to use a very small camera to video your vlogs. So basically that's it for the DJI Action cameras. So hope this video will help you to see which of this will be the right action camera for you. And as always, happy filming. See you in the next one.